What's up, guys? Welcome to the line change. And in this particular video, we're doing something a little different, as I'm not going to be reading an article or breaking down an article. I'm just going to talk. As you can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about something that is actually really near and dear to me, and we're going to discuss it. And I'm basically asking you guys the question: should the Vancouver Canucks retire Roberto Luongo's jersey? I know this has been a discussion for years now, and the discussion over this really ramped up when the Canucks announced that Luongo was being inducted into the Ring of Honor. What was it, a couple seasons ago? Obviously, some people felt as though it was a slap in the face to Luongo, and that it was a kick in the teeth, that it was a disgrace, that they were, instead of retiring his number, were inducting him into the Ring of Honor. I'll admit I was one of those. I mean, I was happy that he was being recognized and being inducted into the Ring of Honor, but I also thought to myself, why is he being inducted into the Ring of Honor and not having his jersey retired along with the Sedins, Trevor Linden, Pavel Bure, Marcus Naslund? Why isn't he getting that treatment when he is the winningest goaltender in franchise history? This was prior to him being inducted into the Hall of Fame along with the Sedins? I believe it was. So this was just sometime before that he was inducted. I thought that was the perfect time to do it. I mean, he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, as are the Daniel and Henrik. They were being inducted as well. Why not capitalize on that press and retire his jersey? I know Florida retired his jersey, and they were actually the first. He was the first Florida Panther to have his jersey retired. I don't understand why the Canucks didn't just follow suit. But I'm actually going to pull up some Luongo stats, at least when it pertains to, his Canucks career. Let me just quickly pull it up. I mean, technically, it's not an article. I'm just simply looking at his stats while a member of the Vancouver Canucks. Where is it? Let me. Okay. So Luongo played 7+ seasons with the Canucks. He ended up winning 252 of 367 games with the Canucks, including an NHL best 38 in 2010-2011, and had a 2.36 goals against average. Let me actually click on the link and go to it. Yeah, going away. Yeah, winning 252 of 367 games, including an NHL best 38 in 2010-2011. Had a 2.36 goals against average and a .919 save percentage. It's not showing his full Canuck stats. Let's see if I can find a different. want to see like just full-on Canucks stats. I mean, Wikipedia isn't the most reliable source, but they might have actual full-on Canucks, just straight Canucks stuff. Scroll down here. Huh. Doesn't say. At least not on Wikipedia, but let's not worry about his stats right now. Let's just talk about the topic at hand and whether or not the Canucks should retire his jersey. Now, I'm not talking this upcoming season, but maybe in the next few years, do it. I know, obviously, there was a bad breakup when it came to Luongo and the Canucks, especially when it came to, the whole "my contract sucks" line, and then obviously the whole thing with John Tortorella and the Heritage Classic game where he ended up benching Luongo in favor of Eddie Lack. As I mentioned in my Canucks goaltender rankings video, which, by the way, you can find right here. Definitely go take a look at that. It's actually, I believe it's at over 4,000 views. So, and I actually ended up putting basically 3 different videos and bringing them together. It's over an hour long. If you guys just want to watch the goaltender stuff, you guys can skip towards the end. I believe it's roughly maybe 50 minutes in. I would say 30 to 40 minutes into the video is when I get into the goaltender rankings. So go ahead and check that out. But the reason I'm making this video and begging the question, should the Canucks retire Roberto Luongo's jersey, is I actually was watching Canucks Uncensored and their live stream. As of recording this video, technically last night, as it is Monday morning. Yeah, and I mentioned that in the live chat, and then Winton agreed with it, and we kind of started talking about, whether or not the Canucks are, basically we started talking about the Canucks retiring Luongo's jersey and whether or not Luongo deserves it more than Bure and whatnot. But speaking of Canucks Uncensored, you guys should definitely go check those guys out. They got some great content, and they're just really 2 great guys. Having watched that live stream, I absolutely had a blast watching it. Those guys are so funny. You guys should really check it out. Go ahead and like and subscribe to those guys. As I just mentioned, they got some great stuff. And Jordan and Winton, keep up the great work. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up. But back to Roberto Luongo. I do feel as though it's past due for him to have his jersey retired. Actually, I have sitting right in front of me a really, really old Roberto Luongo jersey. Like, you can tell this thing is old just by looking at it. It's pretty beaten up. But those of you that see this guy right here, Sorry, just move the microphone slightly. But yeah, there you go. It's got the C on it. I even have a little Pat Quinn thing on there. And yeah, you can tell it's old because it's Reebok. So there you go. Super old. It's got the, Vancouver arch, which I absolutely, looking back on it, I absolutely hate. You can tell there's some stains on it. And then actually, if you guys want to check out the bottom here, if you can see it on the camera. But see that little scribble? That is an autograph. Not by Roberto Luongo, unfortunately. But that is Trevor Linden. As I got it signed by Trevor Linden, he had a signing a really long time ago, and at the time, this was the only jersey that I owned. So I got him to sign it, and I don't know why I chose to get him to sign the logo down there when I could have had him sign the number on the back, but that is my oldest Canucks jersey. Roberto Luongo, and yeah, I know I've mentioned on this channel when I think I was talking about this jersey in particular when I did my top 10 jersey rankings video, that my dad actually had to get permission from the NHL to put this on. So that's a big one. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I really do think, they need to do this. I really don't understand what the holdup is. I know some people have gone out there and said, well, Kirk McLean wore number 1, and shouldn't he have his jersey retired as well? And now I'm not saying this is for sure the reason, but it could be potentially a reason or a possible one reason that they haven't done it. And my response to that has always been, well, why not just retire 2 jerseys that have number 1 on it? Have 2 number 1 jerseys up in the rafters. One says Luongo and one says McLean. Have Luongo's be the blue and the orca, and then have McLean's be the flying skate. There's no rule, I doubt, that says you can't do that. I think I mentioned that in that same top 10 Canucks goalies rankings video. Pretty sure I mentioned it in that video too, when I was talking about Luongo being my number 1 ranked goalie, or rather Canucks goalie of all time. I mentioned on that video too that he is my all-time favorite Canuck, and that won't change. And that's another reason why I'm making this video, because I feel very strongly about this, and I do feel as though it's a kick in the teeth that they haven't done it. I mean, being in the Ring of Honor is cool and all, but the highest of highs, the cream of the crop, that is having your jersey retired. Now, yes, I get it. Luongo did not win this team a Stanley Cup. He came up just short. But he did win a gold medal here in Vancouver. He got Canada a gold medal. That has to at least account for something, and he did it in Rogers Arena. And that same year, or rather a year later, the Canucks were in the Stanley Cup Finals, and he was 1 game away from winning a Stanley Cup, which he would eventually do last year with the Florida Panthers, obviously being a part of their front office. So Luongo finally got his ring, but still, I just don't understand why this topic hasn't been brought up. And I just don't see why there's this hesitancy to do it. Now, as I said, if it's for the reasons that I listed about, Kirk McLean wore number 1, just do what I just said. Retire both of them. And if I believe Smith wore number 1 as well, and if that's holding it up too, retire all 3. Like, there's no harm in that. I just do not understand why you can't have Roberto Luongo up in the rafters along with the Sedins when he's a Hall of Famer. Like, him being a Hall of Famer shows where he stands in the upper echelon of NHL goalies. As I mentioned, he's the winningest Canucks goaltender in franchise history, and it's not even close. So why is his jersey not retired? Like, Aquilini needs to get his head out of his ass and retire the man's jersey. Put a little respect on Roberto Luongo's name after what he did. Yes, so what? He said his contract sucks. Whoop-de frickin' do. He said it because it was true. He signed a 12-year contract. And then he was crucified for it. He showed that he was willing to, when he initially signed that contract, it showed he was committed to this franchise and he could have been a lifer. And then you went and had a guy like Tortorella F that up by not playing him in a Heritage Classic game when Luongo had made it known to Tortorella, hey, I want to play in this game. He had been looking forward to it all season. And then you go and play Eddie Lack instead? Like, what the hell? And as I mentioned in that top 10 goalies ranking video, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And that is what led to Luongo asking for a trade and him being traded back to Florida. We also talked about this in What Would You Change in Canucks history. We talked about it in that video, which, by the way, if you guys are interested, you guys can find that right here. But that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to talk about this and get your guys' opinion on this. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the Canucks should retire Roberto Luongo's jersey? Do you guys think that it's well past due? Do you think that ship has sailed and that it's we should just give up on the possibility of that happening? But actually, I just realized I forgot to do my sponsor read, so I'm going to quickly go ahead and do that right now. Thank you to my sponsor, Uppbeat Energy. Are you looking for an energy drink that is jitter-free, crash-free, no sugars, no artificial colors or dyes, and no calories? Then Uppbeat Energy is just for you, and it's just what the doctor ordered. Uppbeat Energy has over 15 unique and custom different flavors to choose from, including Galaxy Grenade, which is a blend of watermelon, guava, and lime explosion. Their Beach and Peach, which is a blend of mango, white peach cooler. Are you looking to give it a try? Get the starter sampler pack for $24. You get a shaker and 3 different flavors to try. Use code TheLineChange and save 10% on said purchase or any purchase. Right now they have a buy 2 get 1 free sale going on for this entire month. Get it while you can. Use the code B2G1 when you have 3 tubs or more in your cart. Check out their website at www.dubby.gg. Once again, that is www.dubby.gg. Uppbeat Energy, be better. Your taste buds' favorite energy drink. I meant to do that earlier. Apologies for that. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Once again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And as always, actually, hang on. Sorry. If you guys if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on all your Canucks content, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you don't miss a single video. You can find us on social media. On Facebook, just search The Line Change to find our Facebook page. You can find us on Instagram at The Line Change. You can find us on Twitter /X at LineChangeVan. You can also find us on TikTok at the.line.change.po. Feel free to give us a follow on all our social media platforms. Excuse me. And if you prefer to listen on the audio podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also give us a follow on Spotify, as well as rate us and review us. It is, of course, greatly appreciated. But that's going to do it for me. And as always, go Canucks go. And I'll see you guys in the next video.